Gamescom is over, but we still got news. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Couch Soups here, and today is Friday, August 29th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. We are just 2 weeks out from the launch of Borderlands 2 or Borderlands 4. We're 2 weeks out from Borderlands 4, and they managed to do something that I like about a lot of big AAA games is they did a live action trailer. I've always said good things about a lot of these live action trailers. It shows that companies do put some effort into it. And this trailer is asking you to quit Earth, and it shows kind of a character running through, and everybody's trying to get on the rocket ship so they can fly off to Pandora. I'm kind of late to the Borderlands 4 party. Again, like I've only kind of started following the campaign for the last week or so, just a couple weeks before launch, and slowly getting a couple friends into it because we're all a little gun shy on picking up a new Borderlands game after the last couple were not to our liking. But yeah, I'm somewhat looking forward to Borderlands. I'm cautiously optimistic about Borderlands 4, and seeing the live action trailer gave me a few points of optimism this week. So I'll be digging in on that, talking more Borderlands 4, and hopefully picking it up in the next couple of weeks. Judas, I had went through and looked through kind of the history of what we'd known about Judas, the next game from Ghost Story Games, the ex-BioShock developer, led by Ken Levine, and his game Judas was at the Game Awards in 2022, and then we haven't seen anything since I think a Game of the Year's trailer in 2024. So been a little bit of time of quietness, but that was broken this week as Ken Levine had a dev blog talking a little bit more about the game, which is hopefully bringing some life back to this what was presumably dead or in quiet game. It talked a little bit about some of the game systems. Something that looks very similar to the infamous Shadow of Mordor and War Nemesis system, which should be interesting to see how kind of the political game pans out in Judas. But I, for one, am just looking forward to using a gun in one hand and a superpower in the other, and using those to defeat bad guys in a spaceship, apparently. So. But yeah, I'm not hopeful that this game is anywhere near complete, but a first dev diary for a game we haven't heard from in a year is at least a little bit hopeful. So looking forward to learning a little bit more on Judas, hopefully soon. Space Marine 2 is almost a year out from launch. It launched early September of last year. And to kind of celebrate that, the developers announced a whole bunch of content is coming, as you would expect for a year one kind of celebration. It includes some new weapons, a lot of which are flame based, so a lot of flamers are coming to the 41st millennia. There were already a lot of flamers in the 41st millennia, but they're also adding some new enemy types and missions to kill said enemy types, so should be fun ways to get back into Space Marine 2 if you're not in the coming days, if not just to get your shooter friends ready for Borderlands 4, maybe. Would be a good reason to get into those. Call of Duty is course correcting in their next game. So, according to news this week, there won't be people won't be able to transfer their operator skins from into Black Ops 7. So no more Snoop Dogg and American Dad running around in your Call of Duty game. Those will all be wiped out, and any of those that exist in your account, I think, will still exist for the previous Call of Duty game, but will not be transferred over to Black Ops 7. So, yeah, it was funny that they kind of admitted. I also saw kind of a rundown of like terrible collaborations that have happened in the past amongst all games this week, and yeah, I think. Just seeing some of those just have been a little bit much lately, so the fact that they're kind of adjusting those back is sounds good, and we won't see some of the clowns running around in your Call of Duty game, and there might actually be literal clowns running around, so that all might be a little bit less immersive for those who care for that. Atari went rummaging around in Ubisoft's closet and found a couple IPs that they weren't playing with anymore, and Atari went up and bought them. The robot climbing game Grow Home and Grow Up. They picked those up. There was another one called I Am Alive, which is like a psychedelic game. There was two other IPs, one like a survival horror game that no one's ever heard of, and one more that was just kind of laying around dead in Ubisoft's closet, and Atari went up and bought them. So I'm very curious what kind of what the onus is. I mean, obviously Atari's trying to get more content or find some more games with some IP, maybe a little bit of nostalgic, a little bit of nostalgic power to them. But yeah, I'm curious, what the push is for Atari to, if it's are they trying to do a streaming service? Are they trying to do just like a big collection of older games that are remastered? What they're trying to do. So Atari, as the kings of nostalgia, continue to find things to try and generate nostalgia. Coming out of Gamescom last week, I was talking about Vampire Bloodlines 2 and all the information we got out of that. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which I am very excited about, but a lot of people were not excited about. That two of the infamously 7 clans of vampires that exist within Vampire the Masquerade will be hidden behind a $30 DLC. And because of that upset, this week the developers announced that they will monitor it closely and will reconsidering their DLC policy and what's going to be in it and how much that's going to cost. Yeah, so no firm kind of confirmation of change, but that change is being ideated on. So I'm at least hopeful. They've mentioned that they're going to reconsider, so I'm curious what this does or what the ultimate outcome would this be, but I'm going to buy the $90 version regardless of whether or not I get all 6 clans, but I could see why people would want in their $60 game to be able to afford or to be able to get access to what has always been part of the brand identity for Vampire the Masquerade. No Man's Sky continues to pump out free DLC. I have a whole idea about, as a game that has that was originally overpromised and underdelivered. I feel like they have continually over-delivered since then. It took them a while to get it all up to speed, but it's awesome to see that every couple months they get a massive free DLC that like increases the different ways that you can play or interact with No Man's Sky. So it's awesome to see that they continue to support it, and there's always good content. I jumped in even when the like pet DLC came out or like the Pokemon-esque DLC came out. So lots of different reasons. This time they've added multi-person ships. So rather than have everybody having their own little personalized ship, you can now make kind of bigger stations, so that can house you and your friends. So you have floating space bases coming to No Man's Sky. So really cool to see that. This week I learned about a game which I learned about Turok this week. I learned that it was a comic book series that started in the 50s and then reached popularity in the 90s, and that's where a lot of the games came out, a lot of the first-person shooter games. And the thing that spurred this founding of information was that the new Turok Origin game, based on the article I've read that I'll have linked down below, is coming along, and that it's looking really good, and it's multiplayer. It's a co-op game, so if you want to run around as a Native American character with cybernetically enhanced and dinosaur killer, you could do that with it looked like 2 to 3 friends. So yeah, you could play up to 3 players running around killing dinosaurs. Should be fun. I always enjoyed the Turok games. Last but not least, Fallout Bakersfield continues to get more support and love. I saw a bunch of articles this week talking about how interested fans like I am are about it. As a reminder, this is the Doom mod turned Fallout game that's kind of been in the indie space. I talked about it a couple weeks back, and just that it's this like it's got a really cool vibe to it, but it's a first person shooter, and so has a little bit of RPG elements according to what I've read. but yeah, ultimately it's getting a lot of coverage. It's getting a lot of love. It's currently 60% finished according to the dev. So yeah, hopefully it comes along, and I'm looking forward to trying to figure out how I can play this as someone who doesn't typically like download mods or any of that kind of stuff. So definitely looking forward to it. But it just oozes with personality and love for both franchises. And yeah, as someone who's been to Bakersfield plenty of times, I wonder what it would look like in the Fallout apocalypse. So looking forward to that. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend, super long weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye.